international break, and they've gone ahead to obviously win every game that has gone ahead to obviously cross their stage. Returning from the international break with Martin Odegaard, returning with a big win. And that big win has resulted into them really trying to obviously revamp the hopes of Arsenal fans on as far as the trophy is really concerned. And why is this game really very important? This game is really very important because because Man City is playing Liverpool tomorrow, and I'm really going to be coming up with that after really showing you the confirmed starting 11 for both teams and what we anticipate from this beautiful game of football in here. So smash the like button, comment and share if you're only watching us for the very first time. Endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a day. Remember, we are powered by Muno Gadgets, dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops. Even if you need a used phone and a laptop from the United Kingdom, go ahead and obviously do the due diligence, and you will thank me later. That is what you're really having in here onto this beautiful channel of ours. So continue to obviously subscribe because we want to hit 30,000 subscribers, and don't forget to obviously hit the notification bell after subscribing. But it's our channel and we are really doing the needful. So if at all you also need affordable smartwatches, call Muno Gadgets on +256 70 99888665. That is Muno Gadgets for you, serving you with the best gadgets that they have. And I think they're really trying to add a lot to their catalog, and I'm like, all right, each and every time they obviously add something to their catalog, I'll be one of those who rushes in here to obviously bring you what they've gone ahead to add. Go into the live chat and do the needful. What's the needful you're supposed to do? Go ahead and obviously put in what we call your prediction. There is a West Ham win, there is a draw and an Arsenal win. Go there and vote. I'm seeing 8 people have already gone ahead to obviously cast their votes in there, which is something great for us in here onto the Rokani Media Football. Now let's get into the confirmed starting 11 for the club of Arsenal. Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Carafiori, Jorginho, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Trossard, Havertz. Now, the bench has Neto, Jakub Kivio, Zinchenko, Kientieni, Nicolas, Martinelli, Nwaneri, Sterling, and Jesus. At the look of things, you haven't gone ahead to obviously notice that Partey and Mikel Merino are known onto the bench, and the reasons are really having a knee injury and a muscular issue. As I went ahead to praise Thomas Partey this morning, for the very first time, he has found himself missing out on a game of Arsenal, and it's because of him not being available. In the Carabao Cup, he hasn't played any of those games, I know, but we note that it's the manager trying to rest him, you understand. But this time around, he's out for the very first time. Has the injury or the injury proneness, went ahead to obviously spark off again, because ever since the season started, Thomas Partey had not missed out on any game of Arsenal, and he had already gone ahead obviously put in a very required shift of football altogether. For Merino, obviously from a shoulder injury now to an injury, all right, we are waiting to see how they're really going to be showing up, and this is a worry for the club of Arsenal as they head into the game of Manchester United, because this man has been very pivotal, that is Thomas Partey. Then the starting 11 for West Ham: Fabianski, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Todibo, Kilman, Emerson, Sola, Schuchek, then Paqueta, Somerville, Antonio, and Bowen. That is the starting 11 for the side of West Ham. Their bench has Ariola, Kofol, Guilherme, Ings, Dan, Alvarez, that is Edson, Rodriguez, Ivring, Scales, and Meyers. That is the bench of West Ham as they obviously plan to obviously take on the side of Arsenal. Now let's get and see which systems have these two teams gone ahead obviously apply to obviously see themselves facing off one another at the London Stadium. 68,000 capacity seater of the population in there. Now, that is how Arsenal is really going to be lining up. They're going to be lining up in a 4-3-3 system as usual, with David Raya in between the stitches for the club of Arsenal, and Julian Timber obviously playing as a right back, Ricardo Carafiori left back, William Saliba, right-sided centre-back, and Gabriel Magalhaes going ahead to obviously play as a left-sided centre-back. And that shows you exactly that Gabriel Magalhaes has gone ahead to obviously return, and the fears are no more. Remember, Gabriel Magalhaes found himself in a position of injuring himself when he was playing away in Sporting Lisbon. But he has forced himself to be a variable. And I think the physios have also gone ahead, obviously, approved him that he's really fit to play into this encounter. Why? Because if you are to choose 2 games on where to play Gabriel Magalhaes between the game of West Ham and Manchester United, I think everyone would have gone ahead to say, let's reserve him for the game of Manchester United on Wednesday. So what does that mean? It means that Gabriel Magalhaes has been fully fit, and there has been no reason of obviously forcing him onto the pitch. So that is really great. And if at all you watch my match preview this morning, obviously that's my probable starting 11. My probable starting back 5. Now, 2 changes have gone ahead to be made in this team from the one that I predicted. And the first change is Jorginho playing in the CDM area, replacing Thomas Partey. Obviously, Jorginho is that kind of player that is readily available every time Mikel Arteta calls him to obviously come up and obviously represent for the club of Arsenal. We all know that. And he has never gone ahead, obviously, let the club of Arsenal down. He's one of those players who is in his early 30s, soon hitting his mid-30s, who is readily available, meaning that he conducts himself very well and his lifestyle is 100% dedicated to football. That's why at that age, he's still fit almost every time Arsenal is really having a task to obviously work on. So he comes in to replace Thomas Partey, and we are waiting to see how things pan out. And I believe that he might be one of those players that were into that lineup when Arsenal had to obviously annihilate the side of West Ham by 6 goals to nil last season. That is Jorginho. And I just love everything that Jorginho has gone ahead obviously put out onto the table. Now, Declan Rice also joins the party in the midfield alongside Martin Odegaard. So, Declan Rice, as usual, he missed out on the game of Inter Milan. He was brought on in the game of Chelsea, and he was really forced. A painkiller was really put into his toe, and he played only 60 minutes. Never went for the international break, and guess what happened? Declan Rice rested, and even when they're playing against Nottingham, stories were like, he's not going to be available, but he made it to the bench, but he played 0 minutes. His first game was against Sporting Lisbon, put in a very good shift altogether, and he really gave us vibes of Declan Rice into that game. And today, he returns for the 3rd time to play against his former side, West Ham. Last season, he played here twice in the Carabao Cup, where Arsenal was knocked out by 3-1 by West Ham, and that annihilation from Arsenal, 6-0. And now, is it going to be a baptism of fire again today? We wait and see. As I went in for a prediction of 3-0 for the club of Arsenal. Martin Odegaard, ever since he returned, he has been registering an assist in every game that he has played for Arsenal. Against Chelsea, you remember that very well. Against Nottingham, that Saka goal. Against Sporting Lisbon, the penalty. It was courtesy of him being brought down into the mixer. And guess what happened? The referee pointed to the spot, and Saka raised up, or stood up, and put that ball into the back of the net. That is Bukayo Saka for you. So, Saka starting as a right forward, one of those players that is really in firing form, and he has gone ahead obviously score 4 goals in the Premier League, and he has 8 assists so far. So we are waiting to see how he's really going to be panning out. The other change that the manager is going to hit to make has been that of Leandro Trossard starting off the left, resting Gabriel Martinelli, meaning that Martinelli is really going to be a very influential player into what Arsenal is really going to be doing in the game against Manchester United that is on Wednesday. You know, how many days from now? 3 days from now. That's when that encounter is really going to be playing. Trossard, 13 games in the Premier League, and he has 2 goals. I think he should obviously up his game. Last season he scored 12 Premier League goals, and I think he still has a lot to do, but I know he's really going to score. Kai Havertz leading the line, man responsible for leading that line for Arsenal, and he's really very, very, very in fine and firing form. West Ham have gone in for a 4-2-3-1 as the players walk onto the pitch. Fabianski in goal, Aaron Wan-Bissaka right back, Emerson Palmieri left back, Kilman right-sided centre-back, Todibo passes the late fitness test to obviously coming through to play as a left-sided centre-back, Sola and Shushek playing into the double pivot, Lucas Paqueta playing as a central attacking midfielder, Gerard Bowen right attacking midfielder, Somerville playing as a left attacking midfielder. And if you remember how Somerville went ahead, obviously put himself into the competitive edge, you know, to get to the starting 11 of West Ham, it was when he came off the bench and went ahead to destroy Manchester United at the London Stadium, a game that saw Eric Ten Hag being sacked from the job of Manchester United, and he's really deadly. Look at him. Their wide forwards are really great. Bowen is obviously going to be like, I'm really one of those that can really take on Saka at the national team, and please do the needful. Mikel Antonio leading the line for the club of Arsenal. His best attribute is his physicality, and I think when it comes to Arsenal having Saliba and Gabriel, there is no way they lose it out because of physicality. They won't lose physicality battles. David Sozi says, Mr. Rokani, now the lineup is out. What is your prediction? 3-0 in favor of Arsenal. Boji Richard Rokani, how are you Arsenal to win? Arsenal is going to win. That's what I really believe. Unless otherwise the shocker comes in through. But I see an Arsenal win written all over this beautiful fixture. Then Inziku Cosmas, who is the best centre-back in the world right now? I'm Cosmas. Good evening. I think it's in between Virgil van Dijk and William Saliba. That is it. And if I'm to make my pairing, it should be those. Diaz is really great, but this season, he has been totally off. Diaz has been totally off. He hasn't come up and represented to the fullest. But Saliba or Virgil van Dijk for now. Now, Jamil Saad, good evening, Mr. Aradi. My prediction is 3-1 win for the club of Arsenal. All right. DJ draw, but I just think that is the mind game for Manchester United. I don't think so. Those players are really having knocks, but the manager is like, I'm not going to risk them into this encounter. I'll risk them out when we are playing. I can risk them out and play against Manchester United because that's the biggest game that I'm going to obviously be left with, you know, before this year ends. And he knows to it that he can win this game without Merino and Partey. And I know they'll return when they are playing against Manchester United. Then Mubarak Nabonga, Mr. Aradi, good evening, sir. Good evening, my brother. Hope you're really having fun. Now, let me end your poll and see how people have gone ahead to vote as we obviously get to the London Stadium. Players obviously positioning themselves into their ordered positions, and obviously West Ham kickstarts off the ball. Now, Arsenal, 94% are going to say it's a win for Arsenal. 5% are saying it's a win for West Ham. 0 are saying no draw. So, they are all anticipating a win from all of this. Now, Bissaka finds Todibo, and Todibo finds Kilman. That's how the game of football is on. Arsenal needs to win this beautiful fixture because tomorrow, Liverpool is playing a team called Man City. Liverpool is at 31 points. You know, they are 9 points ahead of Arsenal. If Arsenal win now, they'll be 6 points behind Liverpool, and they'll be 2 points ahead of Man City. Meaning that if it's a draw, then Arsenal will be 7 points behind Liverpool. I think those are not all that much. If it's a win for Liverpool, points will stay to 20. Sorry, will stay. The point difference will stay 9. And if it's a win for Man City, Arsenal will be 6 points behind Liverpool. So Arsenal just need to obviously win this game of football and leave the rest for the rest. But right now they're having 22 points, and Man City and Chelsea are really playing tomorrow. So Arsenal need to win this game of football, obviously go to the second position. So if they win, remember Brighton would have gone ahead, obviously be more points ahead of Arsenal, but they drew yesterday. And now all what we are seeing is Arsenal coming in through and having 22 points. If they win today, Arsenal will slip in the second position as they await for the results of Chelsea and Man City. That is tomorrow. But Gerard Bowen is trying to Malloud into the box, and it's a goal kick as Gerard Bowen points or raises his hand in protest for denying themselves, for denying West Ham a corner, and is the captain. And David Raya, obviously, he's starting off that ball down there, and he gives it to Gabriel Magalhaes, and they're really trying to obviously play a slow game because they know what it means to obviously attack this side in here at the Emirates, at the London Stadium, because it's never an easy game, I tell you. You understand? It's never an easy game, you know, London derbies. All right. So guys, hope you're really having fun. It's Arsenal with the ball. It's still a slow game, I tell you. It's not that kind of game that you're really anticipating. A moment. It's not that kind of game that has gone ahead, obviously see intensity increasing. Arsenal is like, let's play it in our own mood, and West Ham are like, we are going to leave the ball for you, but don't anticipate that it's going to be an easy walk through the park. Gabriel Magalhaes moving the ball to find Martin Odegaard, Carafiori, Trossard, Magalhaes. They're still trying to obviously play that ball into their box because they want to attract the attention of players of West Ham. They want them to obviously get into their bait of obviously playing what we call a high press. But we all know that West Ham are playing what we call a low block. You know, they can't play what we call a high line. They know that that space can easily be exploited by Arsenal. It's Saka on the run, and running into the Tina's box area all towards the byline, and he really has possession, loses possession, and it's a foul. Saka brings Emerson Palmieri down, and the referee says it's a foul. Saka is like, how is it a foul? Saka, Paqueta is the man that Saka's gonna hit, obviously bring down. But all in all, it is really something great in here. Arteta expecting a win because he knows to it that when he wins today, he's really gonna immerse a lot of pressure to Man City and Liverpool. And he's a man who won't really bow down for less. He wants to collect the 3 points with him. Fabianski, header to find Kai Havertz. Aerial duels in here for you. West Ham trying to win everything. Jorginho puts in the shift, intercepts that to the fullest. Gabriel Magalhaes finding Martin Odegaard in the middle of the park. Captain fantastic. Oh, this is Trossard. Trossard lays it to find Saka onto the out wide right. Saka faces Palmieri, and it's a pass too much heavy. The weight of the pass was not all that well measured, but it was a nice move for the club of Arsenal. And they're trying to obviously find themselves at the back of the goal of West Ham. But it's still 6 minutes played. Rice finding Leandro Trossard, narrowing the pitch. Trossard obviously finds Martin Odegaard onto the right half space. What a back heel to find Julian Timber. Remember, he registered himself an assist in the middle of the week. Timber trying to manipulate that area. Odegaard goes in for a back post pass to Carafiori. Heads it to find Leandro Trossard. Carafiori obviously goes in with a teasing ball, and it's a corner kick for the club of Arsenal. Set piece Kings coming in through again. Set piece Kings coming through again. Aaron Wan-Bissaka blocking that cross of Carafiori. Blocking that cross of Ricardo Carafiori. That is what we are calling a block from Bissaka. Declan Rice, last time he brought in 3 set pieces in here for you, 2 corners and 1 free kick that resulted into 3 goals in that 6-0 annihilation. Let's see whether this one results into a goal. He delivers it very well, and it finds Carafiori at the edge of the Tina's box area. It finds Saka. Jorginho finds Rice Declan playing at the stadium that he knows better. £105 million buy from West Ham. Obviously, Martin Odegaard trying to really maneuver into the final third of the pitch. Plays back to find Jorginho. Mr. Press Resistance. Gabriel Magalhaes finding Saliba. Arsenal really trying to play high line, press West Ham in their own half. But West Ham are like, we are not ready to obviously offer you the best. None of the teams has registered a shot on goal or even on target. But Arsenal is trying to build something special here. Is he offside or not? The flag stays down. Trossard still in, holding possession. Throw in for the club of Arsenal. It's a throw in for the club of Arsenal. And it's Ricardo Carafiori fitting in like a glove. He never played any game, by the way. I think the preseason was not all good for him. And the manager just threw him in the Premier League matches. Timber to find Saka. Saka. Timber making a run. And it's really one of those that has been blocked. It's the second corner of the game for Arsenal. Timber's run has been read well by Bukayo Saka, and it resulted into something great in here. So let's wait and see. It's a second corner. Arsenal had taken long without scoring from a set piece, but in the midweek, Gabriel Magalhaes found himself on target when he really headed that ball in the back of the net when they're playing Sporting Lisbon. Now, let's see whether Saka's delivery will be done justice to by the club of Arsenal. Obviously, you see most of them cocooning at the far post, and that sends you a message that it's either a far post ball delivery, all input, or a nearby post input. Let's see. Saka, players run to the near post. Saka delivers, and it's in. It's in. Gabriel Magalhaes again. I told you. According to how they are standing and how they are obviously cocooning at the back post, it was either going to be a nearby effort or a far post effort. And this is a very tactical change or tactical plan by the club of Arsenal, because in the game of Sporting Lisbon, almost of the goals that Gabriel Magalhaes has gone ahead to obviously score, he has obviously made that run at the far post. Now they've gone ahead to cocoon at the far post, and it has gone ahead to be put in near post effort, and Gabriel Magalhaes came up and obviously headed it into the back of the net. One for Arsenal, and it was a free header. It was a free header because they need to eat that. Look at those runs. Look at those runs. There was an X run that was made, and they're really trying to check for the push of Julian Timber, but the referee says it will stand. 1 for the club of Arsenal, 0 for the club of West Ham. Gabriel Magalhaes is really having a season of his life at the club of Arsenal in as far as scoring goals is really concerned. He's really having a season of his life. I tell you. When you look at the stats and what they're really showing up for Gabriel Magalhaes is really doing the needful. This is his third goal, I think, in a set piece. His first one came on when they're playing against Tottenham Hotspur. He scored the same goal when they're playing against Man City. Now he scores this, 3 goals in set pieces from the man himself, Gabriel Magalhaes. In the Champions League has also got 1. So, last season he scored 4 goals in the Champions League, in the Premier League, and he comes to obviously outcompete himself into that record, and I know he's really gonna put it to bed. That is the man himself, known as Gabriel Magalhaes. And it's another set piece. Let's wait and see. Is Arsenal gonna threaten the side of Man City? Side of West Ham again in this. Again, onto the far post again. Kakuning on the far post. Ball brought in. Cleared off the line by the goalkeeper. Declan Rice still holds it. Plays in to find Martin Odegaard. Mr. Reliable. This is the guy. And it's obviously a free kick. Sola brought down, and it's obviously a free kick for the club of West Ham. But Arsenal have gone ahead, obviously come up in a different way altogether. The Portuguese is in the director's box as he banned from watching the game, So, that is Arsenal for you. They are obviously trying to put in a shift. 1-0 for the club of Arsenal as it stands. It has been Gabriel Magalhaes. Early score looks like it's a norm for the club of Arsenal. In the previous 3 games, Arsenal have gone in for an early lead. I tell you. First against Nottingham Forest, early lead, I think around the 5th minute. Then against Sporting Lisbon, 7th minute, Arsenal were already leading. And again in this encounter, particularly that we are watching now, they've gone ahead, obviously, take a lead. That is Arsenal for you. 10th minute, that's when Gabriel Magalhaes went ahead, obviously, put in a very good effort to the cross brought in by Saka. But that takes Saka's assists to 9. Very insane. Saka now has 9 assists made this season in the Premier League. The boy is in flying form. Saka is in pure flying form. And that's the form that you want Saka, Martin Odegaard to be in. That means at least one of those will obviously have to penetrate through very well. And me as a fan of Manchester United, I worry a little bit. As we head into this encounter, right? I worry a little bit as we head into this encounter that United is really going to be hosted by Arsenal on Wednesday. United is playing tomorrow against Everton. Second game hosted by Ruben Amorim at Manchester United. We wait and see how that really pans out for this particular club. You understand? So, that is United for you. And let's obviously get going. Arsenal in the lead, taking an early lead, still dominating play. Odegaard doing magic with the outside of his foot pass headed out by a defender of West Ham, and that has been nice defending by West Ham. But what a brilliant pass by Martin Odegaard. Arsenal player down. West Ham on the attack, obviously trying to equalize. Somerville! Offside. Offside. We wait for a VAR confirmation. Trossard fell on. He was left on the ground. Carafiori played a pass. Gabriel Magalhaes intercepted, but it fell into the vicinity of Gerard Bowen. Gerard Bowen went ahead to bleed Somerville, but Somerville has been offside. Confirmed. It's an offside. Trossard holding his back. Looks like he's really having a lot of pain. But all in all, it never settles until it obviously comes to pass. And they're showing us the communication that Saka really had with Gabriel Magalhaes before that goal really came in through. And it was like a plan. They ran, and he ran into the right space, and Saka laid that ball there. Gabriel Magalhaes did justice to it, and it's a thank you. It's a thank you.